Howdy folks, Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. Today we're going to talk about the unfortunate death of Mr. Satoru Iwata, the president and CEO of Nintendo. We're going to talk about my reactions from San Diego Comic-Con. We're going to talk about the new announcement, yes, a new announcement for Baldur's Gate. It's a new expansion. Yes, you heard that right. The Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition that is available on Steam is getting its own expansion. So, and then there's a couple other little tidbits, little announcements and things like that at the end I will do that as well. So without further ado, let's roll. So to start things off, it's already been widely reported. I'm not telling anybody anything they didn't know, but I just thought I would give my 2 cents. Unfortunately, we lost a giant in the gaming field. We lost Mr. Satoru Iwata. He was the president and CEO of Nintendo, and I do not own a Wii. I do not own a Nintendo DS or any of that stuff. However, of course, being other people's homes and things like that, I have played those things. And of course, he was a giant in the field, in the video game field. So I feel compelled to give my 2 cents. I think that anyone who contributed at his level, he was a game designer and everything else, before rising to CEO and all that stuff. So anybody that has contributed to gaming the way that he did deserves a great send-off. And I think that other people on the internet have done a much better job than I could do, because, like I said, I don't own a lot of Nintendo stuff. I actually don't think I own any Nintendo products at this point, but I've just played a lot of them in my history. So always had a lot of fun and everything. So to Mr. Iwata, thank you very much for your contributions, and rest in peace. Next thing I wanted to talk about, the Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. And the reason that a lot of people just say Comic-Con, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to differentiate. I'm going to say San Diego Comic-Con, because we have our own Comic-Con here, the Salt Lake Comic-Con. And our Comic-Con is becoming huge. Every year it gets bigger. And I believe last year we broke 100,000 in attendance. And there is actually a legal battle going on between San Diego Comic-Con and Salt Lake Comic-Con right now. San Diego is trying to claim intellectual property over the term Comic-Con. Although there's all kinds of them throughout the country that use that term, but for whatever reason, they have picked Salt Lake to go into litigation with. So, for those reasons, I will always differentiate and say San Diego or Salt Lake. So anyway, my reactions coming out of the San Diego Comic-Con were, I was floored by the amount of trailers and information and things that came out about, particularly about movies. We had the B-roll for Star Wars, the Episode 7, which had all the behind-the-scene footage, and all that type of stuff. Showed the sets, showed some of the filming, all that type, and it was fantastic. I mean, for a Star Wars geek, it is heaven as far as I'm concerned. I mean, to me, it's better than a trailer, because it's showing me how much time and effort and care to detail and everything that they're going to do this right. So that was fantastic. Batman vs. Superman, another one, fantastic. The Shannara series that's going to be on TV the trailer for that looked amazing. Now, the Shannara series, the books, I actually never read them. I own them, as I do a lot of other books back there that I never got the time to read. There's a lot of fantasy series and things that I didn't get to read. However, after seeing that trailer, I took the first book, Sword of Shannara, up to my to the bedroom up there, and it's on the nightstand, and that will be read, at least the first book, before the series starts, so I have something to go by. I was in the middle of reading Game of Thrones, but I had to put that on pause and start the Shannara series, because I wanted to have something to go by when I start watching the series. So, let's see. Oh, Suicide Squad. Another great trailer. Looked really good. I thought, I didn't know a lot about the Suicide Squad, but from the trailer, it looked awesome. Now the next announcement was the Baldur's Gate announcement. Yes, an actual complete expansion, not a fan-made deal, not a mod, nothing like that. An actual, legit expansion from the game developers is coming out later this year for Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition on Steam. And it's going to be called Siege of Dragonspear. So, and of course it's going to take place on the Sword Coast again and all that, and that is for, the guy who's got all the Baldur's Gates back there, the collector's editions back there, and everything. Now, of course, we've also got Sword Coast Legends coming out. We have an expansion for Pillars of Eternity. It's just going to, there's just not enough time. There's not enough time. They're showing all these movies that are going to be coming out, the games, the books. There is not enough time. I've just got to quit my day job. Somehow I've got to manage to pay for all this somehow and not have to go to work. I don't know. There isn't even a lottery here in Utah. I can't even play the lottery to try that. So, anyway, I'll try to squeeze as much in as I can, but there's no possible way. With TV shows, Walking Dead, another Walking Dead series getting ready to start, Fear of the Walking Dead. Oh, we didn't have enough on our plates to try and consume. Let's have another one. And of course, I want it. It's Walking Dead. Of course but really? We only have so much time. So, anyway, looking forward to all of that I just talked about. And the last thing I wanted to talk about was there is a podcast known as Dungeon Crawlers Radio, and a lot of you probably do listen. They have over 100,000 listeners worldwide, but they are local. They are right here where I live, and they actually use our local gaming store, one of our local gaming stores, as their sponsor, and that's where they usually broadcast from. It's called the Gamers Inn in Lehigh. And so I went and talked to them because I am now involved with Gygax Magazine and TSR, the new TSR as it's known. And the plan was I would go on Dungeon Crawlers Radio and talk a little bit about the products that we've done, Gygax Magazine, and the products we have slated for release later. And so I went down there last Thursday, and there was technical issues out of all of our control. And the main guy from Dungeon Crawler Radio, Revan, is what he goes by. He tried everything he could. It just wasn't happening. So what they did was they decided that we would do it again this Thursday. And I offered to do it right here. And that's what we're going to do. Dungeon Crawlers Radio is going to be broadcasting live right there at that table. They'll be interviewing yours truly about TSR and Gygax Magazine and all that. And then after that, two people that are, at least two of them, that are from Dungeon Crawlers Radio, also have a YouTube channel called Fandom. And I will put a link below if you want to check it out. And so at the end of the Dungeon Crawlers Radio segment, we are going to film apparently a episode of Fandom here because they want to interview me about my gaming tavern here. And they want to take video and all that. And I don't know if you caught it, but I have recently added some stuff back there. There's some beer signs that I had in my storage that I finally got put up. I got a saloon sign up there. So and there's other stuff that's out of the out of camera range right now, out of frame, that I've done. So you might see it on Fandom when we do the full video in here. So that is all happening. And then maybe I will, while I have them here, I will probably fire up this little webcam and get a little bit of footage with the Dungeon Crawlers Radio and Fandom guys and gals here. So that's on the docket for tomorrow. So if you want to listen, I will put a link below to Dungeon Crawlers Radio, to the link to their webpage where you can click Listen Live, and it will be tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So I guess that would be 5 p.m. Pacific. So I will put the link there. And of course, if you miss it, they have links always to hear the past podcasts. So, and of course, you'll have the link for Fandom. There you go. I think I squeezed everything in I wanted to talk about. I am also going to do my own video. If you remember back, I did a video about this gaming room, and I said it was about 85% complete when I did that video. It is now about 99%. There's a couple of little things I'd like to tweak and everything else like that, but I'd say it's about 99% complete now. And so I'm probably going to do a new video and show everything for all of you that always want to know, what's on the shelves and whatever else. So anyway, that's it, guys. I've talked long enough, and I hope you're having a good week. And hopefully you'll tune in tomorrow, and we'll see you on Dungeon Crawlers Radio and Fandom. Catch you on the flip side.